Hello, and welcome to Your Vote Counts, a public service program for the May 19th primary election that is being produced by Capital Community Media, a multimedia center that provides local content, education, and a platform for diverse community voices in the greater Salem area, and by the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk counties, a nonpartisan political organization advocating for voting rights, government transparency, and public election education. All candidates for the positions of State Senate and House districts, Polk County Commissioner, Salem Mayor, and Salem City Councilors were invited, and we will be hearing from one of the candidates for mayor in our interview. Candidates were asked to prepare a 2-minute opening statement telling about themselves, their qualifications, and why they chose to run for the office, as well as a 2-minute closing statement. I'm Toma Cadu, your moderator from the League of Women Voters, and I'd like to introduce candidate Julie Hoy to share her opening remarks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and for the important role that you play in forming and engaging voters. I am Julie Hoy, and it's an honor to serve as your mayor. Over the past year, I've come to understand leadership in a deeper way. It's not about having a perfect plan. It's not about having a perfect plan because in local government, things rarely go exactly as planned. It's about how you lead through complexity, how you bring people together, and how you continue moving forward even when the path is uncertain. The challenges we face, homelessness, public safety, an addiction and mental health crisis, housing affordability, and the need for economic development are real, and they are interconnected. They require coordination, clear understanding of roles, and a strong partnership across our community. My focus has been on ensuring that Salem is doing its part responsibly, effectively, and with accountability. When I ran for mayor, I made a commitment to bring Salem back to basics, responsible budgeting, a strong focus on public safety, and delivering on core city services. And we're seeing progress. We've stabilized the city budget, strengthened our leadership team, and launched initiatives like Safe, Clean, and Healthy Salem that are making a visible difference. I've also worked to create a culture where people are empowered and feel safe speaking up, where staff and council and community partners can bring forward their expertise and be part of the solution. I'm running for re-election because I believe in the progress we've made and because I know strong, steady leadership matters, especially in challenging times.
Thank you for sharing that information with us. The questions for our candidate today were developed by the American Association of University Women and by League members. Candidates did not receive the questions ahead of this interview. The candidates' responses to the individual questions will not be timed. Now let's give candidate Hoy an opportunity to address questions of concern and interest to our community. Our first question today: how do we create a vibrant and livable downtown for residents and businesses?
Thank you for asking. I am super excited about the work that's being done through the Bloomberg-Harvard City Leadership Initiative. I participated early in the first 100 Days program with them, and then applied for and received the International Mayors Cohort opportunity, which led to the collaboration track, which is happening in Salem currently. We are developing a blueprint for greater public safety, and public safety for me is far more than simply law enforcement and fire. Public safety is everything from cleanliness through our addiction and mental health crisis to crime such as human trafficking and drug enforcement. It's a broad spectrum issue in Salem that we're dealing with, and we need to be approaching it at every level. That requires collaboration. And that kind of relationship building is what's happening already through the work that I've done, frankly, and the preparation that I made coming into the role as mayor through my work on council. I think in my first year on council, I spent more time in county meetings than I did in city meetings, frankly, trying to understand the relationship and how we need to work together. We can't do this work without each other, and that's at every level. So I'm excited about the blueprint that's being created in downtown, which will, and Bloomberg Harvard made us focus on one area of Salem. We couldn't do the whole city. It's too big, and the needs are different. So we'll take that blueprint and we will then move it to Northeast Salem. There'll be a Harvard Fellow coming. I applied for and received this opportunity for a Harvard Fellow to come to Salem for 3 months and to help us initiate that blueprint in Northeast Salem. So a lot of exciting things going on, some of which I can't share because it's not my surprise to reveal. It belongs to this wonderful team of 30 and the group of 7 that traveled to Cambridge a couple of weeks ago, and they'll be talking about that at the council meeting, I believe, on the 27th. So looking forward to that.
Thank you. Could you explain Salem's city tourism promotion area fee and how it will be applied?
You know, right this second, without notes in front of me, I would struggle to explain that particular issue or that item. What I know is it's necessary to our existence here in Salem and how we operate and drawing tourism and inviting people to come to our beautiful city. There's a lot going on with in that regard. The Travel Salem and its board are coming up with some great ideas and plans and concepts. I'm really looking forward to the potential expansion of the conference center. It's not potential. Chuck Bennett talked about it a long time ago. And in 2020, as a matter of fact, in his State of the City, offered that the convention center had been so successful and the expansion was coming in the next year. That was in 2020, just before COVID hit. So things went dormant when we couldn't accomplish a lot for many good reasons and difficult times, and we're rounding the corner into a broader approach and reach to draw more people into the area. So I'm looking forward to that very much. Excited about the future.
Let's turn to water. Discuss Salem's water resources and the status of the Detroit drawdown.
Thank you. Boy, it's a big one, and it's a little bit elusive. It's been a threat, and the Army Corps of Engineers was given orders to create a plan for the drawdown at Detroit. I've been up there probably 3 times with the Army Corps and others to tour the spaces to see what this actually would do, what it looks like, and how the turbidity that will be created might impact our system. It could be potentially detrimental. The beauty of Salem and its Public Works Department and the engineers there is that they look ahead anyway, even though it hasn't come yet, and we don't have a promised date of a drawdown. They've still done the work. We're digging wells so we can access groundwater in the event of such a drawdown. We've also explored the relationship with Kaiser's water system to bring water into Salem in that way, should the need arise. And I feel hopeful that the goal will keep changing and not be so extreme, so that people don't have to fear the event. So we can, and I really feel great about, as I said, the hard work and effort of city staff in the Public Works Department, the engineers coming up with those plans. This is a side note, but I think it's worth mentioning at how good they are at their job. When the water crisis hit, the algae bloom in 2018 in the summer, the sanotoxin level was at 4. It was a horrible thing. We couldn't use the drinking water at all in Salem. In our restaurant, we couldn't cook with that water. I had to go to the National Guard station every day to get 80 gallons of water just so we could operate and not have to close. The Public Works went to work, did its thing. 2024, that number of sanotoxins was at 18. It was 4 in 2018. It was 18 in 2024, and we never heard about it. because the work that they did was so successful in the treatment facility that they created up there. So I have a lot of faith in humankind, and especially in public works, and I think we're going to be okay no matter what happens. But I will continue to show up in those meetings and voice the concerns of the people of Salem and the Canyon. It's a lot.
Thank you. What are the challenges facing waste and material management, and what's being planned to fix them?
Well, that's a big deal. It seems like everything has changed over the last 5 years. Things are so much different. With the closing of Covanta, which I know was an important goal for a lot of folks, it created issue for us. Our garbage is going to be more expensive to get rid of. It's going to have to be moved to even another state for that process to unfold. I don't have all the plans in my head here about where we're headed, but I believe and I know that there are many people working on this issue and I'm hoping to come up with better ways. I personally would like people to consume less, so there's less garbage. I would like to deal with our houseless neighbors in such a way that they're not leaving so much behind and out and about for us to deal with. It's a lot, and we need that. We need the amount to decrease so we can do a better job of disposing of it, and it's got to be reasonably priced. And the way that things are going, it's not getting less expensive; it's getting more expensive.
Let's turn to homelessness. What is the role of the city government in reducing homelessness?
City government has taken up quite a lot of the responsibility in areas that aren't necessarily our lane. You know, the population, and let me say out loud and clear, I know that homelessness is a broad spectrum issue. There are folks just one medical bill away from needing a place to stay. There are seniors being priced out of mobile home parks, you know, where the lease is up, and it's a lot. There's a lot going on here, and we have a great responsibility in dealing with it. Our houseless neighbors who are living primarily now on ODOT properties, frankly, it's a big issue for cleanliness and an issue of public health and safety in our community. I want more for those folks experiencing houselessness in that way. I want better for them. Our ODOT properties are saddled with a 10-day, post and clear window, which isn't being adhered to. Those timelines are drawing out sometimes 6-8 weeks, so folks are allowed to be in those spaces much longer, creating more issue and greater problems and health risk. That's very concerning to me. I know that the city is working currently on an MOU with the Oregon Department of Transportation to have the ability to go onto those properties and help the people in those spaces. Our approach through our HST team and our REACH team, our cleaning team, is really dealing with the actual persons experiencing these situations. When HST has the opportunity to go onto a property, they can speak with people and figure out the best possible resources for them, what it is that they're ready to accept and step into in terms of maybe treatment or rehabilitation or job search or whatever it might be that they need to step out of that existence. I think Salem really went through a very difficult time with the 3 years of unchecked drug use and basically an onslaught of persons who felt that it was okay to do any kind of drugs and not have accountability for them. And a lot of people, and we were I believe, the highest in the nation for houselessness and the lowest in the nation for services for folks experiencing mental health and addiction crisis. It's a kind of a perfect storm in a really hard way. And now we're still coming out of that issue. And when you have the state without money, without claiming they don't have enough money to clear these properties, and when all that they're doing is actually clearing the properties, not helping with the people. I have issue with that. I want to see the state step in and help with the persons that are living in this, in the current situations that they're in, to humanize what's happening. It's more than posting and showing up weeks later and clearing. It's who are these people and how can we help them? So I could kind of go on forever about it because it's so concerning to me, and I want it to continue to improve. And I believe that the City of Salem is doing everything within its power, and now coordinating with the Marion County Mental Health Associate with the REACH team. I'm sure you've heard about it, but the fire department EMT paramedic paired with a mental health associate from Marion County in a suburban, going out to help these folks and reach them where they're at. Avoiding maybe a trip to the ER that isn't going to help anyway, or a trip to the Marion County Jail, which isn't going to help anyway. It was surprising to me that the only sobering facilities in Marion County until this new Bridgeway spot is going to open up was the Marion County Jail or the Salem Hospital Emergency Department. And not every crisis is a crime, and not every person is ready to get the help that they need. So I'm so excited for the Bridgeway facility. 7 sobering beds, actual sobering beds for folks in a facility. And upstairs there will be 40 medical detox beds available. And I think we're on a good path in that way. So I'm really appreciative, most especially to Tim Murphy and his dedication to those folks in need in that way. So thank you.
Thank you for that. I'll now invite you, Candidate Hoy, to share your closing remarks, and including your public contact information, please.
Thank you so much. I'm going to say it first because I just never remember at the end, but it's julieforsalem.com is the website. All kinds of opportunities to read about that. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here today. This past year has reinforced something important for me. Leadership is tested most in the difficult moments, when the plan doesn't unfold as expected, and when the challenges feel complex, when decisions carry real weight. That's when leadership matters most. We've made meaningful progress in Salem. We've strengthened our financial footing, improved our internal culture, and built stronger partnerships, especially with our county partners. We've also created real momentum around initiatives that are making our city safer, cleaner, and healthier. But we're not finished. We must continue addressing houselessness in partnership with others, expanding housing opportunities for working families and seniors, and creating conditions for businesses to grow and invest in our community. That means building a city that is not only responsive, but a reliable partner. What you can expect from me is simple. I will be clear about my priorities. I will only promise what I can deliver, and I will work every day to be a good steward of the public's money and their trust. Because when we focus on fundamentals, we create the conditions for everything else to succeed. I'll leave you with this. Hope is not naive. It is essential. It's what allows us to keep showing up, to keep working together, and to believe what's possible for our community. I believe in the future of Salem, and I'd be honored to continue serving as your mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Hoy, for our interview today and for sharing your thoughts. And thanks to Capital Community Media for their production and technology skills, to our community groups that provided questions and topics, and to you, the public, for watching this program in order to become a more informed voter. You have until April 28th to register to vote or to make any changes in your registration. Watch for your ballot in your mailbox on April 29th. Remember to vote, and vote early, especially if you're voting by mail. For more local, state, and national voter election information on candidates and ballot measures, visit 411.org. Elections matter. Remember to vote, because your vote counts.